Hello, everyone. This is Frank Castillo, your host for Frankly Speaking. Today we have a special guest with us, Blake. Want to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, dear viewers. My name is Blake Baber. I am a Laredo-born Texan, attending currently John B. Alexander High School as a 12th grader, former United States Senate page, and currently committed to attending Amherst College in Massachusetts in the fall of 2026.
Blake and I have been talking lately because we are both members of the Democratic Party. I wanted to bring him in on today to our program only because it's necessary for the voters to know about the elections coming up in November this year, midterm elections. So Blake is the Webb County Democratic Party
Youth voter strategist.
Youth voter strategist. Yes, you can tell he's a younger guy than I am. So Blake, what is that role? What do you do?
So in that role, essentially the Webb County Democratic Party has brought me in to help them have a better insight in the wants and needs of young voters between the ages of 18 and 25, and to try to gain back those voters and to encourage them to go out and vote in the upcoming midterm elections.
Wow, that's interesting. I remember speaking to you previously, and it's something that I don't think has been done before, and be that easy. I don't know if it's going to be an easy task you have. How do you see yourself working this out?
Oh, well, what I'm essentially going to be doing is trying my best to reach out to those younger voters and educating them in the importance of not just voting but engaging in their community politically, and how the Webb County Democratic Party can meet their needs as young and youth voters, and how they represent their values, and so in that way encourage them to go out and vote, because as we've discussed before in the past, turnout is a very big problem in Webb County.
Yes.
With 4 out of every 5 eligible voters not showing up to the polls.
Yeah, I know that has been a big issue in Webb County. I don't understand it completely. Having gone back to my youth days, it was always an interesting thing for me to go vote, exercise my right to vote. I did it when I was also eligible to vote, and I was already 18, and I believe you could register a year before or a few months before. Nevertheless, my thoughts have always been like, yes, I want to be active. If there's a way I can be active in local governments, in national discussions, is to go and exercise your vote. Why do people don't take it seriously? Is there something that that I don't know about why people don't get it done?
Well, I think it's mostly because people, fall into 2 categories. Either you have, those who are very well invested into politics, and who, consistently go out to vote, in general elections, local ones, midterm ones. But then you also have voters who, I think it's more important that we try to reach out to voters who kind of in our community just either don't believe that their vote counts towards anything, that they essentially believe that, one vote doesn't make a difference, or those who are just simply apathetic to politics in general.
That's a very interesting thing that I know is happening. You're not the first person I ever heard it from. That people don't get interested. They don't want to be participating in any kind of, open discussions about their policies that are going on. It's kind of sad in a way, but we need to engage people, and really what happens even in your role, you're going to engage diverse views. You're open to listening to others. And that's one thing that I know that as a nation, sometimes we don't do as well as we should, that there are diverse views, and that we shouldn't be calling each other's names, each other some names that I hear out there. I don't want to repeat them here because that's not who we are. That's not who we are as Democrats. Am I correct? We kind of have an open mind.
Yes, and I would 100% agree with you. In modern day politics and all that stuff, we've kind of and it's people on both sides of the aisle that kind of have formed this idea that the other side is inherently wrong and bad, and we kind of fail to reach out or fail to find common ground. And at the end of the day, we really have to look at ourselves and realize that we're all Americans and that we all want the same thing. We just have disagreements about how we achieve that.
Yeah, those disagreements are the ones that sometimes take us to the extremes, right? They
Yes.
kind of have And I do believe though in issues, and this is something that I don't think I brought up before. I do believe in strategizing on the issues that are important, the issues for women's health, for voting, for immigrants, economics, the expenses that you have, the survival instincts that we have, military issues, things like that. I think it's sometimes if we stick to the issues, I think we can have a fruitful discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yes, I would absolutely agree. Because at the end of the day, the issues are the substance of politics. You know, that they are what you know, in many ways unites us in what we want to achieve. Because we all essentially want, you know, in many ways the same thing. We all want the common good. But it's just different ways that we want to go about that you know causes problems, and you know potentially political figures, inflammatory political figures on both sides that sometimes cause issues too.
Yeah, it's always a question of, you know, we hear that word a lot, that it's both sides doing it. Yeah, except the people on either side believe that they're the only right ones,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of funny, but it's a very serious matter. I don't gather to say that two sides can be right. Obviously, there's got to be a right way too, which is somewhere in the middle. And I've always contended that. But and I don't like those buzzwords about myself speaking to you as an individual that I am, and even when I was in school board, I don't like those buzzwords of being liberal, being conservative, being this. It just kind of puts you in a different mindset, and I think maybe we should do a little bit less of that. We should just concentrate on the issues. The issues that are before us right now is high price of gasoline, stuff like that. But I wanted to share with the public that we had initially done a videotape already.
Yes.
And something's wrong. I hope this one comes through. And we kind of, Blake and I both agree that we might have to have more regular meetings because of that. Because we don't know how good the product's going to come out, but it's important that people know now that Blake's going to become a part of the program a little bit more frequently. Of course, considering his time and how much time he has to spare, because in his role, I'm sure it's going to take some time. And I want to say that I'm looking forward to it, because I mentioned this to you earlier. I don't know if you realize I'm learning from you. And maybe if you learn from me here or there, great. But you know, I'm learning a lot of the viewpoints that young people have. I had them before also. And that's what transcended, you know, my life in government programs and being able to take advantage of where the opportunities were. But I think if we have that mindset that we are going to share our thoughts with the public, I think we'll be okay.
Yes.
I think we'll be okay, that we want to be able to show, and not only that, at the end of the day, as Democrats, we want to show public that we do care about how our community is successful. Well, once again, Frank Castillo, I wanted to do this briefly, so this would be like an introduction to what is coming up. We'll be doing this on a weekly basis. Hopefully we'll get an update from Blake, Mr. Baber. He is a well-informed individual. I really appreciate what he's done. We'll go into some of his background, some of his education, and how it actually reflects well. And I'll give you a few minutes to just tell me about it. His education is in LISD and USD. Is that not true?
Correct.
And what you did, what you're doing right now is a reflection of that education. Tell me something more about that, your education, how it brought you here.
Well, I would definitely say both LISD and UISD have, you know, provided me with the opportunities to succeed, you know, whether it be with outstanding teachers and administrators that have always been supporting me, or, you know, the programs they offer me that I've participated in, you know, like UIL and HOSA, that have prepared me, you know, for many of the things I've done, you know, not just going into college, but also my time in the United States Senate.
Wow. I'm looking forward to hearing you more on that and speak more about that, because I think there might be some people out there who are interested in in the route that you've taken. And I congratulate you and hope to have you back soon, okay?
Yes.
So once again, this is Frank Castillo with Blake Baber, and we are now gonna go ahead and finish this segment of Frankly Speaking for May the 1st, 2026, and this was our 11th program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.